I remember watching this movie as a kid in the 90s and being like, why do we hate her again? Oh, because she's evil and she wants to kill puppies. But like, look how great she looks. like how could somebody so fabulous be evil? That's how I knew I was gay. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So you know how every Disney person has like their character? Like for some people it's Ariel and for some people it's like Snow White, and it's like no matter what piece of garbage Disney puts that character on, those people will buy it. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I have one of those characters as well. And you may already be able to tell from the title of this video, but for me, it's Cruella de Vil. And I have all kinds of like Cruella de Vil pins, pop vinyls, more pins. I don't even collect pins, but like pins. I have this like Rubik's Cube that's like the Disney villains and it has Cruella de Vil in it, but I can't even see her anymore because I scrambled it and could never figure out how to redo it. So like, yeah, I am one of those people. Sorry about it. So today I thought it would be fun, since the one piece of Cruella de Vil merchandise I have more than any is dolls. I'm going to rank what I believe is every Cruella de Vil doll that has ever been made. I do want to preface this by saying I'm talking about fashion dolls. I'm not including, I'm just going to put this out here right now so nobody gets angry. I'm not including Madame Alexander dolls. I know that Madame Alexander has done Cruella de Vil at least once. I don't collect those kinds of dolls, so it wasn't worth it, like, for the completionist part of my brain to get them because I knew that I wouldn't want them anyway. So those are not included. Sorry about it. This also doesn't include any sort of plushie or like statue type figure thing. We're just talking about fashion dolls. So I know there's Cruella de Vil plushies. I know there's like a Cruella de Vil Build-A-Bear that just came out. Like I don't do any of that stuff. I think I have one Cruella de Vil statue somewhere in storage, but I have no idea where that is. So we're not talking about that. We are talking specifically about fashion dolls. So I just want to make that clear now. Okay. So I counted in my collection, which I believe is all of the ones that have ever been made, like official licensed Disney Cruella de Vil dolls. I counted 9. So we're going to go through them. So starting at number 9, it's this one. So this is like the original, like before Disney designer dolls did Disney designer dolls, like the way they do now. This is kind of what they used to look like. I think this is from the 90s. I'm not sure when this was made. I think this is from the 90s. I could be completely wrong. This doll is my least favorite Cruella de Vil doll that's ever been made. So this is actually a little flap that opens. It's very old. It's not like fragile, but it is already like torn. I got this from an eBay seller and it was torn when it was sold to me. But this one's weirdly valuable, even though I find her very creepy. That's why she has made the bottom of my list. I just think she's creepy. I mean, look at her face. I will give them some credit because I think this is probably the first ever Cruella de Vil face sculpt they did for a doll. But like, this is not Cruella de Vil. Like, this is not my Cruella de Vil. This is like a woman that you would meet at like 3 a.m. at casino in Atlantic City. Like, that's who this is. I don't know who this is. This is a doll, to be honest. I am not easily frightened by dolls. I love dolls. Even like creepy dolls, I usually enjoy. But this one I find genuinely a little freaky. But I do want to say she does have some admirable qualities. I appreciate that her coat it looks like it's high quality. Also, we're going to see this purse a lot. This purse is done on almost every Cruella de Vil doll. This is the only time I've seen this purse actually made out of a faux fur. Usually this is a plastic molded piece. But yeah, so this is my least favorite. I'm sorry about it. I know some people like this doll. I know she's like kind of sought after. I bought her exclusively because I needed to have every one of them because I'm a crazy person. But I don't display this doll at all. She literally just sits like behind some of my other box dolls because she freaks me out a little bit. So she's number 9. Number 8. So you're about to notice a bit of a trend here in this bottom of the list. This is one of the Hasbro Cruella de Vil dolls. There's 3 Cruella de Vil dolls that Hasbro did. This is one of them. So this is what she looks like. She's in this like black and white dress. She's barefoot right now. This is also they made these in that time of like everything was a surprise, like when the OMG dolls were like leading the doll market. So she's very like surprise gimmicky. It has this whole thing where it's like you're supposed to take this like red piece of plastic and like look at her through it, and then it says there's surprises somewhere. I don't know. I don't really care. But she's her hands, like these gloves, I'm no joke. This is like red liquid latex that's like hardened onto her. Like it's like rubbery and gross. I don't like it. The dress is simple. It's crunchy. It has this like weird red bit at the end, and you'll see I have the next they made this doll in like 3 tiers. This is the lowest, cheapest, like worst version of it. So it gets a little bit better, but she's the worst. And you'll see this dress again, but it's a little bit more detailed. This is like faux fur, and I will say, I will give Hasbro some props. Their Cruella de Vil face sculpt is actually pretty good. I think this would be a great starting point if you were going to do a custom Cruella de Vil doll that looks good. This is a great head mold for Cruella, I think. I think they really captured like her face, but it's not too spooky, but like that first one we looked at, but it's also like, it's still very Cruella. I like it a lot. That's the only part I like. Everything else about this doll, it's just truly like, it's a Hasbro doll. It's just a Hasbro doll. There's no articulation. It feels like cheap, like hollow plastic. The dress feels like it's made of like a dollar store, like tablecloth. It's just gross. Her hair's also not great. I don't know. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. This one's really gelled in, but I have some other ones that I wash their hair out. So we'll look at those next. So she is my number 8. Number 7. So this is the slightly better version of that last doll. So this doll is just a variant of that last doll. This is the one that came in, there was a box that they did of like all 4 of them. It was Ursula, Cruella, the Evil Queen, and Maleficent. They did a box of all 4 of them. It was like $80, I think. It wasn't cheap, but it was $4, so I wasn't that mad about it. But this doll has all the same problems as the last one. Her hair's not my favorite. It's fine. It's kind of poofy right now because I just pulled her out of a box because I don't display this doll usually. Her face is the same exact face sculpt. The screening on these is kind of fun. I like that it's kind of whimsical. The face sculpt's not bad either. Like I would use this head on a different doll. The dress is the dress is just awful. I hate it. I hate the dress. It's better than the last one. It has more detail. This little piece around her arms looks a little bit better than the last one. They still have the same painted on like rubbery gloves. I like all the red details on the dress. Like I like the design of the dress. I just hate the execution. It also has this weird like plastic piece at the bottom. I don't get what this is. And on the other one, if you remember this one, this was like printed on. So it was like the same design, but somehow they made it cheaper. Her shoes are cool though. I think they're kind of inspired by the like DeVille car, I guess. There's like, oh. Anyway, there's one shoe. There's sort of like car details on the shoe. It's so hard to see, but it kind of looks like a car. But yeah, so she is my number 7. She's basically the same doll, just in a very, very, very slightly better dress. Like almost not even better. It's almost the same thing. Almost exactly the same. Not a fan of these. Not a fan of these, Hasbro. Number 6. Here we go again, Hasbro. So this one is this is the Disney Style series Cruella de Vil. This one I was very excited about. So once again, we've got the same face mold, and then she's in a different dress. And so this is like the rendering of the dress. Isn't that beautiful? Like the rendering's so glamorous and beautiful. And then like, this is what we got. I don't know. I don't like this doll. I don't like this at all. So I actually have 2 of these. I know you're like, you don't like it, then why do you have 2? Well, I had one that I bought for $40 when these first came out because I was so excited. Took her out of the box, was so horribly disappointed that I put her away in storage, and now she's in my basement somewhere and I can't find her. And when I was planning to make this video, I decided to just look her up real quick, and it turned out she was on sale for like $15 or something, which $15 is a decent price for this doll. $40 that I paid originally? No, but now the joke's on me because I technically have paid like $50. So like over $50 between the 2 of them. But yeah, I don't like her. She's fine. I don't like her. I don't like the box either. Like Hasbro needs to learn how to box a collector doll. Like you can't make something a collector doll and then put the choking hazard warning right in the center of the front. It's like right there. It's such an ugly box design. I don't know why this is such a flop, but it is. But here we go. This is our first purse. Like I was saying earlier, we'll see these plastic purses a lot. That's the one thing that one Cruella has above all of the other Cruellas, is that she's the only one who got a actual faux fur purse. All the rest of them got these plastic purses. But yeah, she's not the worst. Very middle of the road. She comes in at my number 6. I'm not happy about her. Mostly because her price, I think, was outrageous at first. But if you get her on sale, she's not horrible. She's not the worst thing ever. And also, for doll customizers, I think these are the best. Because they're cheap, and the face mold is good, I think. I like the face mold. But maybe that's just me. Number 5. Okay, so this is where things get exciting. This is where my collection actually are things that I enjoy. So this is one of the 90s. Oh, the glare. I'm so sorry. I don't take these out of the box because I just don't. So also, I like some of these boxes. These in the more of the collector kind of dolls. The boxes are quite nice. So this is the Cruella de Vil 90s like Glenn Close doll. To my knowledge, they did 2 of these, and I have both of them. So this is my number 5. She is beautiful. I love her. I'm very happy with her. I have no complaints. None at all. She's so gorgeous. Look at her. The face mold on these was actually very good. I think it does look a lot like Glenn Close. The hair's interesting on this one because it's kind of like half blonde, half black. And this was back when Mattel was giving us like actual good quality dolls. Like, look at all this faux fur. This whole thing is this like red and black faux fur. I love it so much. I've always considered buying extras of these to have them out of the box because they're just so good. But also, these weren't crazy expensive when I bought them on eBay. Like, I don't think I paid more than $50 for either of these. So they're out there. Like, there's a lot of people. She's a little dusty. they're out there. There's a lot of people selling these on eBay. So these are still very readily accessible, unlike some of these Cruella de Vil dolls we're gonna get into. But yeah, 10 out of 10. I don't have any complaints. For the price, between the price, the quality, I mean, you can buy a 90s Mattel doll on eBay for less than $50. That's better than like the $100 Barbies they're selling on Mattel Creations right now. So like, yeah, good job, Mattel. Good job, 90s Mattel. Love her. It also has these, I didn't really show them, but it has these like little pop-out things. These are like little it's like a pop-out book. I don't know why. They don't really work very well, but that could also just because it's so old. But like this kind of pops out. I usually just display her just like this because she takes up a lot of space if you open up that box, but she is my number 5. Number 4. Okay, so this is the other Cruella de Vil Glenn Close doll. She comes in a very similar box, but this one is... I believe this is the look. Is this the look that she wears in the very beginning of the movie? It's the like Terry Mugler kind of inspired look. It's so gorgeous. Like, I remember watching this movie as a kid in the 90s and being like, why do we hate her again? Oh, because she's evil and she wants to kill puppies. But like, look how great she looks. like how could somebody so fabulous be evil? That's how I knew I was gay. But I remember seeing these on shelves in the stores and wanting them so badly. But also, I was a child, so I never got any of them. But now I do have them because I'm an adult now and I have eBay. But yeah, I love her so much. I think this one's just better, personally. It's just more to my taste. I love the like black and white aesthetic. I love that they still have the accent of red with her sunglasses. The stole is very long. It's so much longer than it needs to be, but that's kind of part of the point of this look. I wish there wasn't so much glare on the packaging. You can also see that it has the pop-out things again for this box. What are those, Dalmatians? I'm assuming. The Dalmatians like jumping in front of her. They're kind of themed like the car. Love her. Can we get her shoes? Is she wearing shoes? She is. It's hard to see if she's wearing shoes. But yeah, you can kind of see. She just got like simple black Barbie shoes. Yeah, great. Good job, Mattel. These were great. I wish I could go on Mattel Creations right now and buy a doll like this at a reasonable price, but unfortunately that's not a thing anymore. But these were great. I'm so happy they exist. I'm so happy to have them in my collection. Okay, so she is my number 4. Number 3. Okay, so we are into the top 3 now. And honestly, even in the number 3 placement, I think that's going to be a controversially low placement for this particular doll. This doll, I think, is the most valuable. Like, as far as, like, if you were to try to buy these on eBay, I think this one goes for pretty crazy prices. I remember I had a lot of trouble getting this one because I did have to buy this one secondhand. But I couldn't resist her. I didn't care that I had to pay, you know, whatever I had to pay for her. She is so good. And she comes with the puppies. I mean, so this was a part of the, if you want to know. If you want to know, this is one of the older Disney designer dolls where they came in these big acrylic cases. And this one was a part of the Folktale collection. It's actually the only one that I have from that collection because I think the point of this collection was they were just trying to capture like scenes from different Disney movies because they were kind of disjointed. Like one was Ariel and King Triton and one was like, I don't know, they were just like random things. So this is the only one I actually tried to get from that collection. I love it though. It has, I think, kind of all of the main Dalmatian puppies and of course the parents. It has of course Cruella de Vil herself. She looks so good. This is, I think, the most movie accurate Cruella de Vil face sculpt that's probably out there. I think they did a perfect job of capturing like the angular, like Skeletor nature of her face, but still not making her look like horrifying. Like sometimes she looks like a horrifying demon when they try to do this face sculpt, but in this one I think she actually still looks quite glamorous. The other thing I really like about this one is that her dress is like leather. It's like a pleather as opposed to like a black, I don't know, just like fabric dress. Love that. The coat's also very accurate to the film as well. It's very long and full, so if you do take her out of the box, which I would never personally, but if you are that kind of person that wants to take them out of the box, I think you'll get a lot of display value out of taking her out of the box just because look at that coat. It's so big. I think I've seen her out of the box and it's also like the hem's not even. It's sort of like in this weird pattern. So there are some cool details that you miss when you keep her in the box. So I will give you that for sure. This one doesn't come with the cigarette. I think that kind of fell out of vogue after like the 90s. But I don't think any of the Cruella dolls after the 90s come with the cigarette. But that's fine. We shouldn't glamorize smoking anyway. And then also it does have the plastic like foxtail purse, like I mentioned. Also just look at I just had to get it on, look at the expressions on the dogs' faces. They're so good. They're so good. Like they captured the dogs in each of these figures so perfectly. It's so hard to get them all because they're all in this little case, but I love this doll. It's so good. This was one that I avoided for a while because, like I said, I think this is like the most valuable monetarily. So I put off buying her for a while because I kept being like, you have so many Cruella de Vil dolls. Why do you need to also get the one that's like, I don't know how much I paid for her. I know it was probably around $200. I could be completely wrong, but I do think it was around that. But I also bought her like a while ago, so I have no clue how much she's worth now. I haven't checked prices on these kinds of things in a long time. But for me at the time, that was a lot of money because I hadn't spent, I think this was maybe the first time I ever spent more than $200 on a single doll. But I remember thinking like, that's insane. I can't do that. Like now here I am, but so she is my third place slot, and I love her so much. Number 2. Okay, so I love this doll. I love her so much. Like, she's so good. Okay, she's so big. So this is a 17-inch doll. She's definitely, oh God, the glare. Okay, hold on. This one I can take the glare off pretty easily. With these specific dolls, these Cruella de Vil dolls, they're very special to me, and I don't want anything to happen to them. So these will never be coming out of the box. I'm not much of an unboxer for the collector dolls anyway, because I like the boxes, but I would never consider unboxing these. I need to preserve them. I know that sounds crazy, but like I have to do it. It has to be done. So here she is, as unboxed as I will unbox her. Her face sculpt is fantastic. It's not like a perfect spitting image of Emma Stone, but I think that it's good enough where you can recognize that that's supposed to be Emma Stone. The detailing on the dress is incredible as always. She has her little masquerade mask. So this is, of course, from the live-action Cruella movie with Emma Stone as Cruella de Vil. This is the scene. It's not really a spoiler because I think the scene's in the trailer, but this is the scene where she walks into the ball. She lights her dress on fire, and under her cloak or whatever, she's wearing this beautiful red dress. I love this because not only is it an iconic moment in the movie that everybody remembers who has ever seen the movie, but also it's so rare. I mean, this is the only Cruella de Vil doll that I have in a red dress. She's literally the only one. Unless in this set I'm missing somebody, I think she's the only one that they've ever done in a red dress. I'm pretty sure. Now, I will say there are other dresses from this movie I would have loved to see, so I'm kind of disappointed they didn't do more of these, because I think this one sold out really quickly, didn't she? So it kind of seems like a missed opportunity that Disney didn't do like a second run in a different dress or something. That would have been really cool, because I think these sold out like the same day, because they were just so good. I have only one complaint about this doll. My only complaint is that this is a very expensive doll, and that cane that she has is made out of a very cheap plastic. And it bends. I've pretty much across the board, every time I've seen this doll, the cane itself is kind of bending. And I just wish they would have made it out of like metal or something, or like even a harder plastic, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have taken much to make that not like bend. But yeah, that's my only complaint about this doll. Otherwise, she's so gorgeous. The fabric quality is incredible. It's rhinestoned. The draping details are incredible. Like, this kind of like stitching and draping, that's hard to do on like a human scale and make it look this good. So the fact that they executed it on this doll scale is just even more impressive. She does have like the mitten gloves though. I don't love the mitten gloves, but they are at least rhinestoned. I love her. I love her. She's easily number 2. I also like the hairstyle they chose for her. I think this is what she had in the movie, but we usually don't see Cruella dolls with this like curly, kind of wavy, permy hair. So love that. Love her. I love her. She's great. So she is my number 2. So before we get to number 1, by the way, if you don't agree with any of the things that I'm saying here, that's totally fine. Honestly, I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. If you like which ones are your favorite and all that kind of stuff. If you think I'm completely wrong, that's also totally fine. I wanted to get into some honorable mentions. So these are some dolls that I have in my collection that are not officially licensed Cruella de Vil dolls, but I think are very heavily inspired by Cruella de Vil. Am I forgetting anyone? I'm positive that I'm forgetting some because I have a tendency, if something even like is clearly inspired by Cruella de Vil, I usually buy it, but I'm not seeing anyone else in this room. So I'm going to go over the ones that I have next to me. So honorable mention, Heather Grayson. Is that her name? Heather Grayson? So she is from Shadow High Series 1. I mean, obviously you can see the Cruella inspiration here. I think she's great. I think this doll would make a great custom Cruella de Vil doll. So it's something I've always thought about doing, is actually just customizing her to be Cruella de Vil. But she's great. I mean, look at her. And then another honorable mention, another Rainbow High doll, Jet Dawson. So once again, to me, this is like suspiciously Cruella de Vil-esque. I mean, she has the split hair. It's black and rainbow. Like, so it's the black on one side, rainbow on the other. She has this like black and white outfit and then this red dress. I mean, is it just me, or does this dress not resemble, like, this is stylistically just resembles the Cruella movie. This came out around the same time as the Cruella movie. I mean, I don't think you have to be, I don't think it's like a tinfoil hat, like, conspiracy theory. I think this doll was very clearly inspired by the Cruella movie, and I think MGA was kind of riding that wave. She's also like a fashion design doll, you know what I mean? She comes with like the thing. I don't know. To me, when I saw this in the stores, I was like, oh, they just did Cruella. Like, obviously, instead of white hair, she has rainbow hair, but that's very Rainbow High. So, yeah, she's definitely an honorable mention. Number 1. Okay, so I feel like I'm going to have to explain myself here because I feel like this doll, to a lot of people, does not look nearly as spectacular as some of those other dolls I had just shown. But this is my all-time favorite Cruella de Vil doll. For me, it's a bit sentimental because this doll came out, I think, when I was maybe about like 18 years old or so. And I remember she retailed at like $60, which at the time was a lot of money for a doll, I feel like. Like, I remember thinking $60 was an insane price for a doll. And I wanted her so bad, but I was like 18 and in college, and I just could not afford her. So it kind of passed, and I kind of moved on. And many years later, I finally bought her on eBay. she was like a doll that I had always wanted for so long, and I just didn't let myself buy her for some reason. And she's just so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She's so glamorous. And actually, I take back what I said. I think this was actually the last Cruella de Vil doll to have the cigarette. I think she was the last one. But I just love that she's sort of like, she's very Cruella inspired, but she's clearly not Cruella. And I think that's what I loved so much about her. She feels kind of like she's a supermodel, like cosplaying as Cruella de Vil. I love her hairstyle. This whole series, if you're not familiar with this is, I believe, the first Disney designer villains they did. Disney designer villains, or Disney villains designer dolls, whatever they called them. These were so beautiful. These were like the fashion runway ones. There was a couple in the set that were a little controversial because they made Ursula skinny for some reason. I don't know why they did that, but Cruella, I think this is like a great doll. I have no complaints. I love the way that they styled her dress. I love the super low cut neckline that she has. It's like very sultry. It's definitely like the sexiest Cruella de Vil. And I think that's why I like her so much, because we so often see Cruella de Vil as like this like crazy hag that's just like running around and screaming and cackling. But this like fabulous, like fierce, beautiful Cruella de Vil is the one that I love the most. So yeah, it's a little sentimental. It's partially because it was a doll I had wanted for a very long time and just never purchased until like years later after it came out. So I think that's part of it. What I like about the Disney designer series is that they really take a lot of liberties with the character, and I personally like that. I know a lot of Disney people don't like that, but I like seeing the characters that I like in a new way. As long as I can still recognize that it's the character. Like, that's what's important to me, and this is so obviously Cruella de Vil. I mean, they did such a good job. Yeah. She's simple. Like, she's not even that spectacular. I think she's going to be a very controversial number one, but she's my number one forever. She's the number one in my heart. If I had to get rid of all of my Cruella de Vil dolls tomorrow and I could only keep one, this is actually the one that I would keep. Like, no lie. She is the one. She is really the only one I need, yet somehow I ended up buying all of them. So, but that just happens when you're a collector sometimes. Like, sometimes you're just kind of like, you slowly accumulate them, and then suddenly one day you realize, I have every single doll of this set except for one, and then you buy it on eBay for way too much money. At least that's what I do. So but anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have been wanting to do this for a while. I just needed to dig up some of these dolls because I don't display the ones that I don't like, obviously. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like this style of video, definitely let me know in the comments, because I do have a lot of older dolls that I kind of like to talk about and go through. So yeah, definitely let me know. I also, to my knowledge, own every Disney designer villain doll, because they only did 2 sets and I have all of them, I think. So maybe one day I'll rank those as well. Maybe. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye!